Good evening, it's 5 o'clock and we start tonight at 5 with the push to deal with violence right here in the heart of Indianapolis. Just a few hours ago, the mayor was announcing that he was very proud of the reduced crime, but he did say a lot more work is now needed.
So we have team coverage tonight. Rich Nye is in the newsroom with how the city's programs are working.
Also today, we have John Doran, who's digging into the success so far. John?
And city leadership tells us they've seen a significant decrease in gun violence, specifically homicides and nonviolent shootings over the past 2 years. And that's thanks in part to a collaboration with an outside agency that aims to reduce intentional violence across the board.
This strategy is saving lives in the city of Indianapolis, and it's doing so at a rate surpassing the nation at large.
Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett says since January 2022, there has been a 31% reduction in criminal homicides and a 20% decrease in non-fatal shootings.
Statistics will never restore a life that has been lost. The declines that we see ensure that fewer residents will bear those awful burdens.
January 2022 is also when the city partnered with the National Institute of Criminal Justice Reform, who strategizes weekly with law enforcement to reduce gun violence.
On Thursday, there is a review of every single homicide and every single injury shooting that has a likelihood of retaliation by police personnel, a detailed analysis and discussion of which of these incidents are we concerned that are going to escalate into a retaliatory shooting.
In the new year, the violence reduction strategy aims to make more progress, focusing on one issue that saw an increase in 2023.
We're going to have to really look at our youth violence. We're going to have to look at how many children have access to firearms and how do we deal with that. It's unacceptable for any parent or anyone who cares about children to know that youth have these weapons and they're being impacted by violent crime, either as victims or as participants.
The Office of Public Health and Safety says it will hire a prevention manager who is tasked with tackling youth violence by getting to young people before they enter a cycle of violence.
What we have seen so far is amazing, but I'm excited to see what's happening in their future and our goals and aspirations for 2024 and beyond.
City leadership also tells us in 2023, Indianapolis saw fewer than 200 intentional homicides for the first time in 4 years. IMPD also tells us they'll be rolling out a plan within the next few weeks on how they plan to combat youth violence. And Felicia.
All right, John, thank you. John Doran reporting live tonight. And as he mentioned, the city has exceeded its goals when it comes to reducing crime.
And the numbers are encouraging to advocates who are working in the community for peace. Rich Nye joins us live in the newsroom tonight. He's been looking at the city's biggest intervention program that works to reduce gun violence. Rich?
When Indianapolis implemented its gun violence reduction strategy 2 years ago, a big initiative through the Office of Public Health and Safety was the creation of Indy Peace. There are now 60 Indy peacemakers working in neighborhoods where gun violence is most prevalent. Many also serve as life coaches to people who are identified as most likely to be perpetrators or victims of gun violence. Those people have the opportunity to go through a 12 to 18-month program to make better choices and find new opportunities for their life. 18 people graduated in 2023 from the Indy Peace Fellowship, and officials credit the intervention program as a big part of reducing the homicide numbers.
Seeing our community thriving, seeing our community making changes to make our community safer, to be able to keep individuals in our community around. We're still having way too high numbers of homicides, but to see changes happening is always encouraging to keep doing the work.
Indy Peace has a goal this month to identify and train 99 community mediators, one for every neighborhood in Indianapolis. And tonight at 6, I'll talk to community advocates about what they see in Indy's efforts to reach young people at risk for gun violence.
All right, thank you, Rich. We'll look for that at 6. In the meantime, we want to let you know that we have been tracking this battle against violence in Indianapolis ever since the spike that occurred during the pandemic.
And we followed the efforts of the city and citizens like Kareem Hines. He runs New Boy. It's working to stop youth violence.
If you'd like to watch our interview that we had with him responding to the mayor's plan, you can do so right now by heading over to our website at WTHR.com.